Hi there. I thought I'd share with you about my experience yesterday. They had the Marymount plein air competition yesterday in Marymount, Ohio, which is this just adorable, charming place. Well, as you know, the hurricane blew in here about Friday. Friday was terrible. And they didn't want to cancel the event. It was on Saturday, so Friday night and Saturday. So they made the decision that if you would go out and start your painting on location, get your photos, then you could go upstairs in the barn at the Women's Art Club and paint. So it's a little sad to me that it wasn't a true plein air competition because there were people that didn't really do anything outside. They painted inside for the day, but again, it didn't get canceled, so not complaining. I went down, checked in Saturday morning. If you've not ever done a plein air competition, you typically get your canvases stamped. It's just proof that you painted it on location. So from there, I went out down into the town. I'll show you the first one I did. I sat up, I had my plein air umbrella, and I sat up under a tree and shoved the umbrella up there under the tree. So I was pretty protected, and there wasn't wind. Wind is such an aggravation. No wind, and it was fairly warm temperatures, but it was raining steadily, sometimes kind of hard. So this is the first thing I painted. That's a typical street scene in Marymount, Ohio. Grader's Ice Cream's on the corner. So I did that in 2 hours, which is pretty big painting, pretty good. And, it was raining, so I think I was trying to move pretty quick. Typical plein air competition, what you do and you'd be done. Now I could have taken it back to the barn and I could have worked on it for hours. I didn't touch it again. I don't know. That's plein air to me. You do your best out there. You might get in the car and do a little something, but I left it where it was. So now that I have it home, I actually hoped it would sell, of course, but now that I have it home, I'll look at it and decide if I want to clean up anything or develop it a little more. And then I went inside. I stopped at the barn and checked in, and again, there were a lot of people inside. So I just didn't really want to paint inside. So I went out. I had parked. There were categories. There were lots of nice prizes. First, second, third. There were some specific categories like Best Street Scene, Best Nocturne. There was one, and of course it wasn't painted at night because, I know it wasn't. She checked it that morning. What was the other ones? Paintings of the barn. The Marymount Women's Art Club, it's called the barn. So I thought, a lot of times, and I'll give you that word of advice, if they have categories, or sometimes they have purchase awards where a business or a homeowner will offer a certain amount of money and maybe 4 people will paint it and they'll pick one and purchase it. So I find that if you, if there were purchase awards, I would probably paint in those categories. It narrows down your competition. I've made money on purchase awards. I've had mine chosen. So I knew there were, again, categories. Nocturne, which I couldn't do. Street scene, which I did do a street scene. What were the other two? Again, the barn. Oh, gardens, which not a lot of gardens this time of the year. So I'll show you the other one I did. And with this one, I went to my car and I painted in my car. I parked so I could see the side entrance of the barn, the Women's Art Club. So something different, because every painting I've ever seen of it, they get out in front, they paint the whole big barn, they paint the cupola. So I'll show you what I did. It's got the corner protectors on it. This is the side entrance of the barn. So I did that from the car. I like being in the car. I like painting in the car. So it's pretty good. I may work on it some more. I don't like it as well as the street scene, but I did win for the barn. So I did win a little money. So $100. They had really great prizes. First place was $1,000. So I would encourage you to do a plein air competition if you've never tried one. I would like to do actually more. but you have to travel. That's the thing. Ohio Plein Air Society here in Ohio tends to paint up north. They have come to Cincinnati for their annual competition, and I did do that. But this year they were hours away up in Holmes County, Ohio. So, but again, you have to travel if you're going to do them. But I would like to do more. I find it fun. And plein air, if you're not a plein air painter, it can, like out there in the rain yesterday, because there wasn't any wind and it wasn't cold, so I wasn't uncomfortable. There's rain coming down all around me. But I, at one point thought, I am having the best time. I really like it. If the conditions are right, plein air is just fabulous. So I just thought I'd give you an update of how things went down. Brought 2 more paintings home. I may try to go down to Marymount this fall on a pretty day and paint in that same area and take that big painting with me. Because the last time I painted there, I did a 6x18 in that street scene and sold it right away and had somebody else interested in it. So I actually thought it was a good thing to paint. So I think if I go back down that area again and maybe bring it with me, maybe I could still sell it yet. So it looks like their town. So if you live there or you've ever been through there. All right. I just thought I'd fill you in to let you know how my weekend went. So I hope all of you weren't involved in that horrible hurricane it went through. I'm clear up in Ohio, and it came in, and I can't even imagine. Well, it came in Florida, and by the time it got up, it blew through the country, and by the time it got here to Ohio on a couple days later, I mean, we had winds that were probably almost 70 miles an hour through here for hours. It poured rain and the winds. So I can't even imagine how it came in. The power that, I think it was a Category 4. There are towns that are gone and flooded and bridges are gone. It's just so sad. There's always some kind of horrible weather tragedy, it seems, going on someplace. Fires or floods, or God bless you all if you are involved in that. All right. I'll do a painting soon, so watch for me. All right. Have a wonderful weekend.